Thank you for watching the Impactful Leadership Broadcast with your host, Pastor Wayne Johnson. Each month, we will bring to you insightful interviews from business owners and entrepreneurs in your community and beyond to discuss the secrets to success, wealth, and good health. So start your new beginning today with the Impactful Leadership Broadcast and your host, Pastor Wayne Johnson.
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
What's up, Rick? What's going on there? How you doing? All right, how you doing? Look here, this is Mickey Parker right here. He's the airport manager.
Yeah.
And he has Stearman and a couple of older planes over here in the big hangar.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, when we think we got the mass of people,
Right,
we can hop in our cars and he's going to give us permission to cross the runway here.
Okay.
And we're going to go over to the hangar.
Okay, great.
I just did my annual maintenance on it, and Mickey is my mechanic.
Yeah.
And I hadn't took it up yet. So
Okay.
while y'all over there,
You're gonna take up.
you are blessed. Blessed.
We got Amber.
But Amber, I don't know how she got here, but I didn't have no idea that she was here.
All right.
I was calling her to get some pointers.
Yeah.
On some things that they talk about to youth,
Right.
flying, and things that she experienced in her life.
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, you know, I got in at 1 o'clock this morning." And I thought, and I said, "Huh? You're in Atmore?" And she knows that one of the things that we always talked about is giving back.
Okay.
You know, and this is one of the things about giving back.
That's right. Yeah. I'm
You know,
so glad to be here this morning.
Okay. So you're gonna pull it over, and we're gonna fill up the fuel.
Okay.
And after we do that, we'll go across the way to the hangar. And while you guys are doing the walkthrough, and Mickey will kind of explain to you about different type planes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come back, and I was going to do it, but Amber is going to be way more better than do it. Teach the young kids what exactly makes a plane fly.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about aviation, the different parts, different controls, the communication, airspace, and just kind of show you that all of the things from a youth standpoint, all the things that you're learning in school now that you think you have no use for, you can actually have use for it. You know, the mathematics, the directions, your geometry on 360 degrees, knowing which angles you want to go to, all that is a part of aviation.
Yes.
Okay?
All right. Yeah. I just want to, say, the importance of where we are today and what we're doing here today. I mean, I know that exposure is everything. So when we're exposed to things and we begin to gain knowledge and access, I mean, this takes us to a whole nother level because it makes our dream possible, because we want to bring our kids up to know that they can, be successful, like Ricardo, like Amber, going to aviation school. And so it just brings another dynamic and another tool that we can have access to things, and people that can help us go to the next level with our kids. We've pretty much lived our lives, but now we want to invest in our children. We want to give them access to things and opportunities that, that they can go and live their dream and be successful. We thank Ricardo for coming today, and it's just a great time. Give him a hand again. Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll come back.
And we're going to explain to everybody how an airplane actually flies and how we direct it. Okay? So, and Amber is a Escambia County High School graduate. Just graduated from Emory Riddle Aviation University. What's the proper name for it?
Aeronautical.
Aeronautical. Give her a hand.
Give him a hand.
Before you finish high school or right after
Right after the summer.
In the summer after she finished high school, she was actually a licensed private pilot. So she wasn't just cranking the plane up and going. She, right now, and I just told her that, and I can brag on it, and just like the adults here want their kids, next generation to be better, she is a better pilot now than I am. And I'm the person who first introduced her to it. And hopefully, the next generation or the next person that she touches will end up being a better pilot than she is. And that's the only way this thing is going to work. But, and I like for you to kind of talk to Amber. I didn't even know she was in town today. And let her know about the sacrifice. She could tell you that it ain't easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It took a lot of long hours of studying and working and sweating and just trying to figure out exactly what she needed to do. but she is a perfect example. I know a lot of you probably could look at, Mr. Lee right there, Pastor Johnson, and, everybody else, and say, oh, those are just old people. She's not an old person, and she's done it. So if she can do it, who else can do it?
We can.
I can.
I can.
Well, we can.
Yeah.
We can, but I can. You got to keep that in mind. If she could do it, that means that everybody can do it. Okay? All right, Amber. If you want to take them around, if you got any questions, anybody get sick, I got some forms that I like for the parents to sign. For indemnity. And that's just my daughter is a lawyer. I was calling her all excited yesterday about doing this, and the first thing she said, "Oh, well, you got to get them to sign the indemnity form." I can tell you about me. Every time I left, I came back, and I'm planning on keeping that perfect record. Okay. So Amber is going to take it from here, and let me take the plane up, and I'll be back in probably about 10-15.
So I was just telling them about how I got a phone call this morning, and it was Mr. Ricardo calling me, Uncle Rick, and I answered, and I told him that, like he was saying earlier, we do this, you want the next generation to be better than you, so I was telling him that. I took the phone call, and when he said there's some kids out here, I said I gotta go, because that's how aviation works. That's how it's gonna continue on, is that people who are doing it now need to inspire other people so they can continue, tomorrow's future, So that's why I'm out here this morning. Just here to inspire and answer any questions you all have. So, anybody have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. What makes you want to, go the way that you did for your career in aviation?
All right, so I took a flight over Pensacola Beach in the same plane that was out there flying earlier, and he asked me, he said, I'm getting older and I'm going to need a co-pilot soon or whatever. He's like, I'm about to retire, so he asked me if I would be interested in flying after the flight. And I was like, yes, I would. So that year for Christmas, that was my Christmas gift from him. He was going to pay for me to get my private, and he also paid me to get my instrument and the commercial. I'm almost done with that. So it kind of was just it just takes one person, that takes a child up in the plane. It's like, hey, how do you like it? And then I flew commercial to his daughter's house to visit her in Maryland, and I enjoyed that. That was a thrill ride for me. So when I came back, that was my ticket. I started when I was in 11th grade, and I think I finished the following year right after graduation from Escambia County. So. And I'm here today. And then when towards the end of my senior year in high school, he asked me, he's like, have you ever heard of a school called Embry-Riddle in Florida? And I was like, no, I've never heard of that one. And I researched, he's like, you may want to apply because it's an aviation school. So I applied, a few weeks passed, I got the acceptance letter, and then after graduation, I took off in August to go into Embry-Riddle and did my 4 years, and I just graduated last month. So. And now I'm doing an internship in Charlotte for Duke Energy Corporation. They're kind of like the Alabama Power of North Carolina and a few more states. They have a corporate flight department, so I'll be there until August of this year, and then I look forward to going back to Embry-Riddle to pursue my MBA. Continue flying.
Talk about a little bit, and so what were some of the challenges that you faced when you were, just coming in an area that most people don't go into, and and then coming from a small community like Atmore, and the challenges that you faced while you were, making your decision to go that way, and anything that you faced while you was in college?
I would have to say my biggest challenge as far as my college career was probably the trying to get acclimated to a different flight environment. Here at Atmore, you can see that I think he's the only one flying today. Well, at my school, it's at Daytona Beach International Airport, so there are other flight training schools, and it's a different class airspace, so it's a lot busier than here. I think we have like 800 flight activities a day. So trying to adjust into the environment and the pace here, it was kind of like a self-paced program, but there it's a lot quicker things are, and classes and stuff like that. So those are some of my biggest challenges. That and trying to stay motivated. You get into an environment when you go to college. I think I graduated one of the top 5 here from Escambia County. But you go to school when you get off to college, you of course you're smart, but you have people who are a little more advanced than you. You know, they come from school systems that are they're more challenged than we are here. So trying to adjust and kind of keep up is something that you have to have a drive within you, you know, to do that. So it's all about, you know, self-perseverance. You have to be like, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. You got to stay up. Sometimes people have to study more than others. You know, everybody doesn't get it like that, and that was something I had trouble with a lot too. But you just got to keep going. You know, keep going.
And the rewards of your challenges and, you know, and being dedicated to what you wanted to succeed in life, I mean, the financial reward is way greater than if you would have tried to go in some other field. I mean, would you say?
Yeah, it pays off in the end. Aviation is something that not a lot of people get interested in, but when you stick in it, over time it will pay off. You know, starting out small and you just work your way up. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they asked, have you ever had a problem being a woman?
I think the ratio at my school is, I think it's about 85% male, 15% female at my school. That's like the ratio there. So there are not a lot of women in STEM, aviation, in STEM at all. You know, science, technology, engineering, math, there is not a lot. So there are challenges. When I first started classes, when you first start with your prereq classes, you know, like your English and your math, it's a pretty mixed crowd. But as you go up in the aviation class and the aeronautical science class, dwindling down, I think in one class I was the only female, and another one, you know, maybe just two of us in there. So, but it's that's what drives me. Like I see, not that many women do it. Let me do it so I can inspire somebody else to get into it. So I don't take it as, you know, getting scared. I kind of just take it and I feed off stuff like that. So. Yeah, that's Embry-Riddle is a predominantly white institution, but they're very open to accepting everyone. It's a big international school, but you have challenges, you know, coming from, you know, where you're from, who you are, what you look like. But that's what has to inspire you to keep going. Like I'm kind of like of a few that are here doing this, so I need to inspire some more to come back. So when I come back to Atmore and then we do stuff like this, that I can hopefully inspire some of you to go into STEM. It doesn't have to be aviation, but just to inspire you to do whatever you want, because you can achieve it.
Yeah, and I like that part about determination, you know, because life brings challenges, but, you know, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to, you know, to know that, you know, you can live your dream. You know, you can live and do things, and because we live in the greatest country that the Lord is. Yeah, I mean, the United States is one of the greatest countries, and so we applaud you, and we thank you for being successful and being tough, and you know, and being dedicated and committed to an opportunity that was given you. You know, and so doors open. Sometimes we don't even realize they're open door. Because through association, just like you were saying, it's through association, being around people that's doing some things that we may not, you know, want to, you know, seem like it's a door that we're going to walk through. But when we walk through that door and people begin to see that we have the potential to do some great things in life. Because, you know, for me and for other people that are successful, you know, I think we see ourselves in other people, and therefore we reach out to them because we see the potential of success in people and young people that are around us. And so when Ricardo reached out to you, and then you know, you could have said no.
I could have, and that's one thing I want to say is that you never know. When you're in school, you always try to do well, because I would have never guessed that I would be here today, being a pilot and stuff like that. But people see the good work that you do, and you know, sometimes you're like, oh well, I didn't get rewarded or something like that, but that's what I love about Atmore, that we have a lot of great people who are like great role models, be it Mr. Rick Johnson, Dr. McBride, other people in the community who always reach back. So don't ever think that no one's watching or paying attention to what you do. Your work will pay off, you know. So I had a great opportunity. That's my way of getting to where I go. But when you get to college, you see that some people come different ways. Some people have the money to go and they can do whatever they want, and you know, and fail a couple classes and take them again because they can pay for them. But me coming from Atmore, you know, not being as financially stable as some other people, you know, you really, every moment counts. So you can't mess up an opportunity. Like, so with my reward, I think the deal was that if I kept my grades up, that he was going to pay, and that's what happened. So he was like, as long as you keep your grades up, Mr. Rick Johnson, yeah. So what I did was, Yeah.
No,
So
this is the story. This is your story today.
I got you, but I need you to walk in.
No, you don't need
Come on, man.
This is your story.
okay.
This is what you're blessed with.
So yeah, so when you get the opportunity, I wasn't gonna fail myself, and I was definitely was not gonna fail him and his wife because they had done so much for me. So I graduated with a 3.5 GPA. Could have been better, but I always tried because I have so many people behind me, and coming from a small community, you have to inspire people. So when you get to that position, like people all the time, I see flight students who come, they'll fail a flight, they're like, oh, I'll do it again tomorrow. Every flight counted for me. Every flight counted because it's so expensive. Where I did it at, and aviation is an expensive field to go into, but it will pay off. So, you know, people don't come from the same background, so some of us have to work a little harder to achieve what we, you know, it may take a little longer. Some people may go straight to the job that they want, and some of us have to kind of go out and come back in and go back out and come back in. So, you know, but you just got to stay motivated. You got to stay motivated.
And what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself motivated?
Let's see. I try to do a lot of stuff like this. Uncle Rick and I did a mentor program in Pensacola. I think it was the summer of 2014, but we had some airline pilots that are from Pensacola and the area, surrounding area, come, and they, for a week, they do a program for students in the community to come, and they try to introduce them into aviation. So giving back is what motivates me the most. And I have a nephew who's, I think he wants to be an airline pilot now, so we'll see how that goes. But just inspiring other people is what I feed off of. So any moment I have to come and speak with anyone and answer any questions, I love to do it. So this is what it's all about right here.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job, brother. We're very proud of you, being a native from Atmore, and like you say, Atmore has a lot to offer us, because when we see what she has accomplished, and that's why I wanted to bring, some of the youth here today, just to get you in a mode or mindset, that all things are possible. You can live your dream, you can reach your goals. And so when you do, that you can look back on this day, that we were at the airport, and then we had Ricardo, Amber, and we had our group here, and you were with some people that you can remember, that, hey, this is where it started, my dream started, and you said, well, I wanted to do some things, but I wasn't sure about myself. But now that inspired me to, reach out and do some great things.
What you're going to see when we go up flying, you're going to see that I have, and do not feel nervous when you see me pull out the instructions, okay? There is a check sheet that pilots use every time you get an airplane. If you get an airplane with somebody and they don't have a check sheet, well, I advise you to get out, because they're feeling too comfortable. I had a good friend of mine from Texas that his family used to do rodeo, okay? So he was getting ready to get on the bull one day, and his dad came to him and said, son, are you afraid? And he said, no, Dad, I'm not afraid. He said, get off. You know why? Because he didn't respect that bull anymore. So if I tell you that every time that I take off in that plane that I'm not afraid that the worst thing is going to happen, I'll be lying to you. But, just to make you feel better, I am trained for emergency procedures. That's all a part of being a pilot. So if something does happen, I know exactly what we need to do in order to get to the ground safely. Okay? Most of the time when you read an airplane about small planes going down, it's usually pilot error. And one of the biggest things I always look for, I saw a plane that ran into a building I think it was in Atlanta. And the plane was just sticking there, And the pilot and the passenger got out, but it was one thing that was missing. If I see an airplane crash and I don't see any fire, it probably ran out of gas. And they also call it get-home-itis. If you notice, I was looking outside right here. I went up in the traffic pattern, and the clouds were at 950 feet. I went a little bit over the clouds in order to come back in. So we're going to wait until all that down there clears up. And if it does today, if it don't clear up, we're not going to go. I'm a very, very safe pilot. Okay, Wayne, any more questions?
No, you did a fantastic job. I enjoyed all of it.
And we're gonna let Mickey go. I know Mickey got things he got to do today. And let's give Mickey a hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Mickey has 14,000 hours of flight time, and he just don't fly anymore. I don't know why. And Mickey is my my mechanic, and he does so well for helping me out with this plane. If it wasn't for Mickey, I really don't know what I would do. I probably would have sold my plane a long time ago. But when I was working overseas, he would take care of it. Anything that happens, he keeps up with all the things that I need to do. It's called ADs in order to keep them going. And he has been truly a blessing in me owning an airplane. And he's been with Amber ever since. And he's been with Amber ever since the beginning. You know, I saw that smile. I saw that smile on his face when you saw behind the yoke. So he feels good about seeing aviation move on to the next generation.
Very good.
Been the Impactful Leadership Broadcast with Pastor Wayne Johnson. If you are near or in the city of Atmore, we invite you to join us live at the Impactful Leadership Monthly Seminar, held at the Hampton Inn on 45 River Cane Boulevard in Atmore, Alabama. For more information or to view past shows, please visit us at impactfulleadership.org. And don't forget to watch us right here weekly on Destiny Television Mediacom Cable 6. We'll see you this time next week for another exciting message from the Impactful Leadership Broadcast with Pastor Wayne Johnson.